Hi there boys and girls, Brucey here, and I am doing another video on the HX Stomp. If you can see it there, quite hard to lift up the pedal board here. Actually, this video is not just about the HX Stomp, it's about modelers in general, at least the ones I've used. So I've had experience with the amplifier boxes, the atomic amplifier, that is the amplifier box, and the amplifier 3, the Line 6 Helix, and the Helix LT and the Helix Stomp, and the Boss GT series of modelers. I've never really tried, I've tried out, but I've never owned a Kemper or an Axe-Fx because these boxes do as much as I want to do. And as you can see around me, I've got real amps which I like and I can use, so defeats the object. These do exactly what I want them to do. So, I'm rambling a bit here. What am I trying to say? Well, this is more of a wish for modelers in general, or at least the ones, as I've said, that I've come across. And the wish is, wouldn't it be great if you could have a global amp? So you could set one amp that you use globally. So this is in a case to mirror my exact setup if I was using an amp live on stage. I would only usually have one amp, which I would then change presets on my effects that run into that one amp. So why is this bothering me? Why would this be really useful for me? Because one of the problems, and I use the Stomp as example, but again, as I said, this is applicable to all other modelers. When you want to create another preset, you end up having to copy over the whole entire amp setup as well, which is fine, you know, it's just two stages. You just cut and paste that preset into another one and you make the changes that you want to the effects that you want to do. Now, as I said, if you are keeping an amp which is constant across all these presets, that is great, but what if you want to make a change to the amp? Just say one night you're in a venue and you need a little bit more gain, or you want to move the microphone around, or you want to change the IR, you then have to go on and do it in every single preset that you've used that amp setup in, if you want all your sounds to be consistent for the change that you've made. Notice I didn't say EQ there, because of course there is a global EQ in a lot of these units where you could just change the overall sound if that's the thing you want. But I'm thinking more, you know, maybe you do want to change the EQ in the amp, maybe you want to change the master volume across all of your patches. There's no easy way to do it. So wouldn't it be great if you could have this global block within inside your modeler, which a preset feeds into the global block with whatever you're setting there. So some other examples of what you might want to do there would be maybe have a global reverb. If you are keeping things simple as the way that I use it, you just have one reverb that you use across all your patches. That is great. And then you want to just make some tweaks to that reverb. Maybe it's a little bit too much for this venue that you're playing in. Now I have to go in currently and switch it down in every single preset. And that could be 3, but it could be 10 different presets. So this idea of a global block, a global amp, some global effects, wouldn't that be great, where you could just set that up and make amendments, and then that filters down to all your presets that you are using. When then inside the presets, you are then running the effects however you want to run them. Now, I've thought this through from an architecture perspective, and what I mean by architecture is not building, obviously a systems architecture of something with inside a modeler. And what would be great is if the global block could actually be a block that you set up with inside a preset. So of course then you could put, if you're just using a global amp, for example, you've got your amp and your IR that you use together for all your patches, you have that in a block, and then you can insert that block into your chain, so you could put delays and reverbs after it. Just a thought. What are your thoughts? Please leave some comments in the box below if you think this is a good idea. It would make my life so much easier. And I also appreciate that probably current modelers would not be able to do this, because it would basically mean rewriting the whole software of the unit. But something for the future, you know, you have a global block. As you can see here with my pedal board, currently what I'm tending to do, and you can see my delay is about to fall off there. The Velcro is, there's a subject for another film, Velcro. What Velcro do you use? Anyway, I'm primarily now using the HX Stomp on this board configuration just as an amp. It just sits there as an amp. I have 1 or 2 effects that I put into it. One is a boost, so I can just boost the whole overall level, and one is controlling a fancy delay that I have set up for just a couple of songs. So it's just staying there as an amp, and I'd like to be able to make more of it by, again, having an amp block which doesn't change, and then maybe add in a few a few different effects before that, which I would change per patch. It would just make life so much easier. So there you have it. That's my thought of the day. Love to hear your thoughts, as I mentioned before. Please do leave some comments in the box below. Please do hit subscribe if you like my channel. I've been Brucey, and I will catch you later.